Have you ever wanted to share something you love with someone? A song, a creator, a hobby, a dream, a person you admire but stopped yourself? Not because you were embarrassed by it, but because you were afraid of what they would say. Why do you care so much about this? Turn that off. You're wasting your time. It's just a phase. It's just music. And maybe, to them, it really is just a song, just a hobby, just a dream. But to you, it was never just anything. It was the thing that understood you when you couldn't explain what you were feeling. It was the voice you needed on nights when your own thoughts became too loud. It was the reason you felt a little less alone. People think we admire artists, creators, and certain things because they're entertaining, but that's not always true. Sometimes we love them because they gave us something we couldn't find anywhere else. Comfort, hope, belonging, understanding. Sometimes a lyric says everything we've been trying to say for years. Sometimes a creator inspires us to become someone better.
Be quiet.
Sometimes a hobby becomes the only place where our minds finally feel quiet. Sometimes a dream becomes the reason we keep moving forward. And that's why it hurts so much when someone dismisses the things we love, because it feels like they're rejecting a part of us. The book they call childish, the game they tell you to stop playing, the movie they make fun of, the dream they tell you isn't realistic. The one song you'd play at 2 a.m., knees pulled to your chest, volume low enough that no one in the next room would know you were still awake. They don't realize these things became more than entertainment. They became comfort. They became escape. They became hope. And maybe the hardest part is when the people who dismiss these things are your parents. Because deep down, you're not trying to convince them to love what you love. You're simply trying to say, please understand why this matters to me. This helped me. This inspired me. This made me feel less alone. But instead of asking questions, they judge. Instead of listening, they criticize. Instead of trying to understand, they tell you to move on. And after hearing that enough times, you stop sharing. You stop talking about the songs you love. You stop mentioning the creators who inspire you. You stop showing people the parts of yourself that matter most. Not because you stopped caring, but because being misunderstood hurts. So you hide. You put your headphones on. You lock your door. You keep your favorite things to yourself. You learn to enjoy them in silence. And here's the part no one talks about. You still know every word. You never stopped loving it. You just stopped saying so out loud. And some nights, that quiet feels less like peace and more like guilt. Like maybe loving it this much, even after being laughed at, makes you the problem. Like you should have grown out of it by now, but you didn't, because it was never something to grow out of. It was something that kept you going. Eventually, you become so used to hiding the things you love that you start hiding yourself too. Because when the things that make you feel understood are rejected by the people whose acceptance you want the most, you begin to wonder if maybe your feelings are wrong. Maybe you're too sensitive. Maybe you care too much. Maybe you're overreacting, but you're not. You're human. Humans connect through stories, through music, through art, through dreams, through people who make us feel seen. There is nothing strange about finding comfort in something that helped you survive. There is nothing childish about caring deeply. There is nothing wrong with holding on to the things that got you through difficult moments. Not everyone will understand what saved you, and that's okay, because they weren't there on the nights when those things were all you had. They weren't there when they gave you hope. They weren't there when they reminded you that you weren't alone. You don't need permission to love the things that make your life meaningful, and you don't need everyone to understand them for them to matter. One day, you'll find people who don't make you feel strange for caring deeply. People who ask questions instead of making judgments. People who want to know why something matters to you. People who listen. People who understand. You'll share that song, that dream, that passion, and instead of silence, instead of judgment, they'll simply say, I get it, and something inside you will finally exhale. Until then, protect the things that bring you peace. Protect the things that inspire you. Protect the things that make you feel alive. Because sometimes the things other people call meaningless are the very things that keep us going. And if something helped you survive a difficult chapter of your life, if it made you feel understood when nobody else did, if it reminded you who you are when you felt lost, then it was never just anything. It was a part of your story. And your story matters.